Good afternoon. Welcome to Sundance School of Riding video lessons. My name is CJ and this is Aztec, and today we are going to learn about show braids. So the tools that we need in order to be able to do this, you're going to want some type of a hair clip. These little things are called braid aids, and they are going to make every one of your braids exactly the same size. Mainly mane combs come in different sizes. You're going to want a squirt bottle. You are going to want yarn that matches the color of your horse's mane. And you're going to need some scissors. You are also going to need a seam ripper. This comes in when it's time to take the braids out of your horse's mane, because you braid your horse every morning for a horse show, and then you take them out that night. You don't leave your braids in overnight. A crochet needle, or we improvised basically a yarn needle, and I'll show you what these are for too. And those are all of our tools, and a step stool, because if you have a tall horse, you're going to need to stand on some. So when we're getting ready, we have our yarn, and the easiest way to do this is just to wrap it around your arm. You're gonna need enough to do your horse's mane. You can always cut more, and you can always save what you don't use, and simply cut it, hold on to it, and we have our yarn that we're gonna use to make these braids with. So you give your horse a bath, you want to not condition your horse's mane. If you put conditioner in the mane, it's going to be too slippery to try to hold braids together. So the first braid is easy because you have your bridle path. You're going to line up the edge of your braid aid with right where your very first braid is starting. You're going to take that and you're going to pull the rest of the mane back, and this is where your hair clip comes in handy. You're going to clip the rest of it back so it's not in your way. So we have our three separate sections of hair, and just like a normal braid, cross over, pinch together, grab the outside, pinch with your forefinger and your thumb so that you're holding the braid tight. Over, pull across, pinch, over, pull across, pinch. Start putting in the yarn. And for this video, we're going to use different colored yarn just so that you guys can see the difference between the yarn and the mane. So you're going to take that piece of yarn halfway through, underneath, and you're going to grab it with your two outside pieces and continue your braid. Then, when we get to the bottom, again, we're pinching with our fingers. Get the yarn so that you have your two strands together. You're going to fold it over your finger, back through, and then down through the loop so it causes a knot. Now, our other tricks of the trade. We have a crochet needle. You're going to take your needle, you're going to come down right through the middle of the braid from the opposite side of their neck, underneath and through. Then you're going to take your yarn, you're going to get it hooked together and pull it back through the other side. So your yarn is on the other side of your horse's neck, and the knot you're going to tuck up right to the very base of their mane. You're going to take your two strings, we're going to separate them, one on each side of the braid, and come down here, and we're just going to make the first part of a knot underneath the braid. Then we're going to make another half of a knot. We're going to get it ready. Now we are going to make the button of the braid. So you're going to pinch your braid so that you got about 1/3 of it comes up, and the other 2/3 is down here. You're going to take your string, and this is called the button of your braid. Then we're going to take our string, we're going to tie a half a knot down underneath. Again, hiding all of that leftovers that we had on that weird first braid. And then we're going to do one more underneath, and it's nice and it's hidden away. Then you're going to take your scissors, you're going to cut off this extra yarn. Snip off our extra string. Now, the same as the first braid, the outside edge right next to where you just did the other braid. Pull it down, hold it there, use your clip so that your other pieces get out of the way. Take your 3 pieces of separated mane and again, begin your braid. We get down to here, we're going to add our piece of yarn and finish our braid down to the bottom. I know, Azzy, you're such a good boy. We're at the bottom of the braid. We're going to take our 2 strings over, the good thing about the needle is you're going to take your yarn, you're going to put it through the little loop, and then you're just going to push it through the middle of the braid and pull your yarn through. So again, we take our little piece of hair that's at the bottom, we stick it in the middle, we separate our 2 pieces of yarn, we make 1 piece underneath, we make a piece, and we make our button. And then the double tie underneath to hold your braid in place. All right, and so when we're all finished with our braids and we've had a great show with hopefully lots of ribbons, we have to take our braids out of our horse's mane because you wouldn't want to sleep with your hair in a braid all night long. And this is where a seam ripper comes into play.